Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. I got an article that I want to read here from fadeawayworld.net, and it says LeBron James' former teammate explains why Michael Jordan is the GOAT with one simple reason. Mario Chalmers names Michael Jordan as the GOAT ahead of LeBron James for one simple reason. The GOAT debate is by far one of the most popular conversations in the NBA community. By virtue of being a subjective argument, the debate has seen many iterations. The latest feature is LeBron James and Michael Jordan seems to be one of the most heated ones. Both Michael Jordan and LeBron James are undoubtedly amongst the best to have ever played the game. From Jordan's dominance in the 90s to James' sustained excellence over 23 years, both have equally valid cases to be considered the GOAT. However, when asked his opinion, James' former teammate Mario Chalmers stuck to his guns and gave a simple response.
Who's the GOAT of basketball?
Michael Jordan.
Why so?
For me, I like the fact that I want my GOAT to take that last second shot no matter what the situation is. There's nothing wrong with making the right basketball play, but for me, a GOAT, that's what my criteria is.
Okay, perfect. So you heard what Chalmers said. Let me continue on with this article. It says, as mentioned earlier, the GOAT debate is highly subjective, but when taking Chalmers' criteria into account, Jordan's stance certainly looks better than James on paper. Throughout his career, Michael Jordan cultivated a reputation for hitting big-time shots. Given that some of his most iconic moments have been game winners, it is safe to say that Jordan has hit plenty of them. Still, the argument goes deeper than that. Rather than the ability to hit game-winning shots, it would also appear that Chalmers is most invested in the mindset behind the last shot. Even in high-pressure situation, Chalmers' idea of a great player would also be one to take the shot regardless of the consequence. The sheer mental fortitude to do so reflects a killer instinct and a competitive drive to win, something that captures the essence of Jordan's brand of basketball. In contrast, LeBron almost stands on the other end of the spectrum. While there's no question LeBron's desire to win and his ability to impact games, the superstar does not have the same single-minded willingness to take the last shot as Jordan or Kobe did. Interestingly, LeBron James' approach to the last second plays is far more tactical than Jordan's. Although he has had a fair share of game winners too, the forward picks and chooses his moments and often makes the right play, which could involve passing the ball to a teammate in a better option. LeBron James' outlook on basketball involves finding ways to win. In contrast, Jordan's approach is deeply rooted in his belief that he can directly influence victory. And then the article then goes on to say this and this and this and this. So this whole making the right play stuff is something that these guys basically try to rebrand. But really, the way that came from is LeBron used to run from the ball at the end of games. That's what it was been. But then they now try to turn it into the right play. How can it be that LeBron is always making the right play when he leads the NBA in turnovers in NBA history? He has the most turnovers in NBA history. So how can he be always making the right play? You know what LeBron fans will say? It's because he played so long. But then you guys, that doesn't stop you from twerking it up and saying he scored all those points. I told you LeBron fans are dumb as hell. I told y'all they dumb as hell. LeBron leads the NBA in turnovers in NBA history. He has the most turnovers. And they'll say it's because he played the longest. Okay. But then isn't that the same reason you give him credit for scoring 40,000? Told you. LeBron fans are easy work. I just watched like maybe 5 minutes of Scap doing another thing with House of Highlights debating 10 LeBron fans. Why would you do that? Why would you waste your time arguing with these people? It's a stupid argument to begin with. So me now engaging you in it is a waste of time. It's not a debate worth having. So me engaging you and going and doing this back and forth, it's futile. Why am I doing that when the premise of it is flawed? Like, what are we talking about here? It's a useless debate. But back to what Mario Chalmers had to say. Yeah. But according to Rich Paul, he says that's because Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant had two-parent. You can't make up. Like, this is the dumbest I've ever heard, man. Like, this is what they say. They say the reason that Jordan and Kobe take the last second shots is because they grew up with both parents in their house. So they're selfish. But LeBron, who was raised as a single parent, he's unselfish. I think you got that the other way around, man. I think you got that the other way around. First of all, Kobe and Jordan had siblings. So when you have siblings, you learn to share. LeBron was the only child. So if anything, he would be the greedy one. What? Like, these are the people that we are dealing with. And now you have his own former teammate, Mario, saying that. And it's a reason you notice Mario Chalmers ain't got the podcast and because he's not twerking it up. If you ain't twerking it up, no podcast money for you. No deals for you. You're not allowed on anybody's shows because you got to twerk it up the way Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye, and the rest of them do. And if you're not interested in that, good luck with that. The other reason I think Mario was saying this is because of his upbringing. You know, Mario came from a military background, and he's had moments with LeBron where he told him, stop acting like it. You know what? Man up. Right? So, of course, LeBron would not like someone that would challenge him in that way. He wouldn't like a person like a Mario Chalmers. He wouldn't like someone that would challenge him. Right? And I think Mario looked through him and said, yeah, I think I'm going to go with Jordan on this one. But so would a lot of people. It's not selfishness. It's supreme confidence. Who better to take the shot than me? Who better? But LeBron fans, they'll pass off a game-winning shot in a finals game to a role player. What? A role player. Now, from time to time, it may happen. But then what makes it worse is that when that role player misses, they blame the role player. That's the whole thing of them. He gets maximum credit and all of his teammates get all the blame. That's how it works. This is the reason why you never hear them mention any of his teammates. Kyrie, Kevin Love, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, Anthony Davis, Luka Doncic. They never mention him. They spend more time praising Scottie Pippen than they do his own team. Because that's the formula, man. That's how they get down. That's how they get down. The biggest clowns in sports media is these dudes. I keep trying to tell y'all. You remember last year, around, let me say April or thereabout, April or May, the news came out that Michael Jordan was going to be joining NBC Sports. And when the news dropped, I remember I was in New York and it was a bombshell. Everybody was excited because Michael Jordan was going to be talking basketball. But at the time, people thought that it was going to be like a regular thing. And silly of us because, well, Michael Jordan showing up to studio, like it was just ridiculous. But it was just this excitement after it. But then after time, after the season started, we saw that it was just like a one-part interview that he did, I think with Mike Tirico, that was broken up into a whole bunch of segments. So it was a bit anticlimactic, although the things that he did say that went viral, it was discussed a lot about in the basketball community, in the sports world, really. So recently, Michael Wilbon did a sit-down interview on Awful Announcing. And for those of you who don't know, Michael Wilbon has known Michael Jordan for decades. And of course, he works for ESPN. So the interviewer asked him, hey, what was it like when ESPN found out that Michael Jordan was going to be going to NBC Sports? And according to Michael Wilbon, ESPN began to panic. And what's crazy is, why would ESPN panic for somebody that had been retired for over 20 years? Why would you panic that Michael Jordan was going to NBC Sports? So I want to play what Wilbon had to say here to Awful Announcing, and then I'm going to come back and continue on the show.
Were you surprised when Jordan agreed to join NBC as a special contributor? And then to kind of follow up that, were you surprised when that special contributor role turned out to be just the one interview with Mike Tirico that was split up?
See, I don't know that was the role. I don't know what Michael agreed to do.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we heard talk about what was agreed, and I saw the release. And I said to people immediately, because people at Disney got panicky.
Yeah.
Oh, Jordan's going to be on every. No, he's not. Use some common sense. He's not. They're going to do whatever Michael agreed to. Michael's going to do whatever he agreed to. Look, I've known Michael Jordan a long time, more than 40 years. I have never, not for one interview, not for one comment, I have never had Michael go back ever on access to something or his word in a conversation. Never. And I've had more conversations with Michael Jordan, and it's going to sound completely arrogant, than the people at NBC or Disney have ever had. Okay, because that's what I did at the same time that he was that person that we covered. Never had him go back on it. But he was never going to do, I don't believe that was ever agreed to. I never believed it then when I read the release. Like Michael was going to be on a set 5 wide. Come on, stop. It was just, networks do hype bullshit, all of them. They're selling. We're going to give you Michael Jordan. Who doesn't want to see Michael Jordan talk about the NBA at any time? What? Last Dance. I got friends who call me now 6 years later. I can't talk to you right now. I'm watching The Last Dance. What? The Last Dance is 100 years old. We want to see and hear from Michael Jeffrey Jordan. All of us. All the time. And so, like, he was never going to be on a set. I don't know what let me make this clear. I have no idea what he agreed to with NBC. And I know he respects Mike Tirico. I know that. So I don't know what they agreed to. I was glad when I saw him on the times I saw him. And so I could see him now. I would never not want to hear Michael opine on anything, particularly that. And then for me, it's, maybe NASCAR, because I've gone and been around, hung around a little bit in his time with that recently. But, people get, what do people think? Seriously?
I think it was the way, because NBC never really gave details on what it was, which I'm sure was by design, but it was the way that it was hyped. It was like, well, he's got to at least he'll be in studio for the playoffs, right? He's gonna maybe he'll do one game throughout the season. I think there was just this with not knowing what it was and just knowing the way NBC hyped it.
No. In real time, knowing nothing, I said no. That's not happening. No. And one of the things we get to do, and wearing the journalism hat or the media hat even, is get to be behind the curtain. You know this. Yeah. And being behind the curtain is great because then you know a little bit more about who people are. And so a game was never happening. A set was not happening.
Excellent. So you heard what Michael Wilbon had to say. What are my thoughts about this? This doesn't surprise me. Do you know why? Because The Last Dance, the last time Michael Jordan and ESPN collaborated, The Last Dance was the most successful sports documentary / docuseries in the history of ESPN. It was extremely, extremely successful. And he essentially carried the network all throughout the pandemic. Literally. That docuseries carried ESPN. Hell, it carried all of basketball and sports in general, because that was the number one thing being talked about in 2020, the Last Dance docuseries. Of course, Kobe and other tragic events occurred, but that was the main thing. So it didn't surprise me that ESPN will feel this way, because Michael Jordan can bring an audience. There's no secret there's not a secret as to why Michael Jordan's finals are the highest rated in NBA history. It's not a secret. It's not a secret that a player that has been retired for over 20 years still outsells everybody in the shoe market. That includes Stephen Curry, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant combined. Michael Jordan still outsells them. He's still the highest earning athlete in the world, or at least the highest. Yeah, Jordan earned about $250 million last year. Highest earning NBA player, former NBA player in the world. The man is making more money in his retirement than players who are actively playing. That's how popular Michael Jordan is to this day. And his Jordan brand is synonymous with winning. And whenever you bring Michael Jordan into the fold, you unlock an entire segment of NBA fans that may not follow the sport anymore. Those that may feel nostalgic. And then even some younger fans, they want to know, hey, man, that's Michael Jordan. That's the guy that they're always calling the GOAT. Let's hear what he's talking about. And that's the same thing that happened during the Last Dance docuseries. A lot of younger people who, you see, because you can go look at MJ's careers, his career, his highlights. You can go watch the games. But a lot of it, especially with his highlights, they don't give you the context. And what the Last Dance docuseries did, it put a lot of those games into context. And once people saw the context around it, everybody walked away saying, the vast majority of people said Michael Jordan was the GOAT, even among young people. Even among young people. Everybody knew this. So, look, man, I'm not surprised by this story. It doesn't surprise me whatsoever because, hey, at the end of the day, we're talking about the greatest player to ever play the sport, by far. Oh, it's the LeBron effect, man. It's the LeBron effect, man. It's the LeBron effect. It's the LeBron effect. Yesterday, you had twerking ass LeBron fans all over the internet talking about, because the news came out that the Lakers were not going to be on opening night, even though they had been on 84% of the opening night games since 2000. Since the year 2001, the Lakers have been on 84 or 21 opening nights. But because LeBron left and he didn't make it this year, oh, it's the LeBron effect. LeBron moves mountains. He moves boulders. He moves shoulders. This is how they were behaving, right? Usual twerking ass, annoying ass LeBron fan news. So I literally, and I kid you not, I literally opened up my phone today and I saw a post from Basketball Forever and I damn near fell out of my seat. It says, and I want to put up the image here. You see Luka Doncic, and it says sold. It says breaking. The Los Angeles Lakers are being sold to American businessman Josh Kushner, who I think is the brother of Jared Kushner, and Bob Iger for a record-breaking price of $12 billion. Kushner and Iger were involved in the expansion process in Las Vegas, but in a stunning turn, they pivoted to make an aggressive offer to buy the Lakers from Mark Walter, who had purchased the controlling interest in the team from the Buss family just last year. But it didn't stop there, because Ramona Shelburne, who works for ESPN, actually broke down the story on ESPN First Take today, and she explained essentially how all of this came about. So we want to play what Ramona had to say today on ESPN, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to that there.
I'm Ramona Shelburne. The Los Angeles Lakers are being sold to American businessmen Josh Kushner and Bob Iger for a record-breaking price over $12 billion, multiple sources told ESPN. Kushner and Iger were involved in the expansion process in Las Vegas, but a stunning turn, they pivoted to make an aggressive offer to buy the Lakers from Mark Walter, who had purchased a controlling interest in the team from the Buss family just last year. Here's a statement to ESPN from Mark Walter. Quote, owning the Los Angeles Lakers has been one of the great honors of my life, an extraordinary investment, but what I will carry with me is the community, the fans, and a city that treats this team as family. I am grateful to Jeannie Buss, the Buss family, the players, and the staff for welcoming me into this chapter. The Lakers belong to Los Angeles, and I have every confidence the best is still ahead. End quote. Let's bring in Ramona Shelburne. And Ramona, good morning to you. What more can you tell us about how this came to happen?
Yeah, so this came together incredibly fast. So Josh Kushner and Bob Iger were involved in the expansion process in Las Vegas. They had a bid group together, and the bidding in Las Vegas was getting extremely high. At some point, they looked around and said, why are we bidding on an expansion team? Before we do this, let's call and see if the Lakers are available. They live in Los Angeles. Obviously, Bob Iger used to run our company here and is an avid NBA fan. He used to sit courtside at Clipper games all the time. So they called Mark Walter. I am told this was on Sunday that they called Mark Walter and said, hey, before we go forward with the Las Vegas deal, are the Lakers available? Could we make you an offer for the Lakers? And Mark Walter wasn't interested in selling, but the number they discussed, $12.5 billion, Shay, was something that he had to think about. And he had, I think, 1 or 2 days to think about it before this started moving forward, before they had to move forward with the expansion process. But, Mark Walter purchased the Lakers just last year. That went through in 2025. It was approved by the Board of Governors at $10 billion. So from October of last year to right now, he just made $2.5 billion on the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't think he was looking to sell, but when somebody makes you an offer you can't refuse, I think it was a business opportunity he couldn't say no to. And it's obviously a mind-boggling morning here in Los Angeles. I know where I was when I got a tip late last night that this was happening. And the person who called me said, are you sitting down? And I'm sitting down now, but I'm still kind of shaking my head at how this came together so quickly.
I mean, these are zeros and numbers I can't even fathom, let alone this all happening like over the weekend. And now what day is it? Wednesday? Oh, my goodness. Okay, so Ramona, what more can you tell us about the group that is buying the Lakers now?
Yeah, so Josh Kushner, obviously the brother of Jared Kushner, his group recently purchased a minority stake in the San Francisco Giants, and it's called Thrive Eternal. So he runs Thrive Capital, but there's a branch of it called Thrive Eternal, which is really interested in iconic brands and restoring iconic brands. So this obviously fits what they're looking to do here. And this is their second investment. The first was a minority stake in the Giants. But Bob Iger, I don't think you need much introduction to him. He was the chairman of the Disney company for a long time and recently retired. I guess he's going back to work pretty quickly, getting back to run the Los Angeles Lakers. But these are just two avid sports fans, and they see an incredible opportunity. And how did the Lakers make? How did their value go up $2.5 billion in I can't quite do the math this early in the morning in 9 months, but the expansion process is going on right now, and I think the teams that are being talked about in Las Vegas and Seattle, that number is getting so high that it puts into perspective the value of iconic brands like the Los Angeles Lakers.
No doubt. Okay, so the Lakers under new ownership now for $12.5 billion. Just this morning, Ramona Shelburne, we appreciate you.
So you saw what Ramona Shelburne had to say. And I even posted on my X account, and I know LeBron fans are absolutely furious, and I love the fact that they're furious. I posted on my X account, and I wrote the following. Again, if you guys are not following me on X, my handle is JRTABANSI. And I wrote, LeBron James leaves and the team value jumps to $12 billion. And LeBron fans are in the comments section crying it up, twerking it up all over the comments, and just making a mess of themselves, right? So, LeBron fans. Hey, man, LeBron effect, man. It's the LeBron effect, man. It's the LeBron effect. It's the LeBron James effect. You know, he be affecting things, and he be making things move. The man leaves, and the team value jumps $2.5 billion. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. You know what I heard one of his bozo-ass supporters say? What was the Lakers' value before LeBron got there? The value of the team was whatever somebody would be willing to pay for a team with 16 championships. That's the value of the Lakers. And before LeBron got to the Lakers, the most, I think the highest value franchise in the NBA was the Golden State Warriors, if I'm not mistaken. Then the Celtics got sold, and then all of a sudden the Lakers came in. And now, in a year, basically, they grew, the value of the team now jumped to $12.5 billion. And LeBron James is gone. Gone. And LeBron fans in their delusional ass minds, you know what they'll think? They'll say, it's because LeBron James was there, man. You know, he won the championship in 2020. And what else did he do? Then they signed Bronny. So that was it. You know, that was it. So all of those other years of ineptitude, that we're not gonna bring that up. I love this. I absolutely love it. So as you guys know, the NBA released the schedule for opening night and Christmas Day. And on opening night, you're going to have two East Coast teams in the Philadelphia 76ers playing against the New York Knicks, all right? Playing against the New York Knicks on opening night. And of course, there's going to be ring ceremony and all of that. And of course, you guys know as well that the Knicks basically broke the record for tickets, the price of tickets that were sold in the NBA Finals. To put this into perspective, Game 3 tickets alone generated $560 million. Game 3. The Knicks probably made they made over $1 billion in ticket sales over those 3 games, right? So there'd been this drought for 53 years since the Knicks won the title. So the fans were starving, celebrities were starving to see it. You had people paying like $20,000 a bet. It was just insane, absolutely insane stuff, right? So that happened. So given the fact that now the Sixers are going to be playing the Knicks, we started to hear ticket prices like the average ticket price is $2,000 per ticket, right? And of course, these disgusting LeBron fans now want to try to slither in and try to take credit for that, right? But just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, Dave McMenamin went on ESPN today, and I kid you not, he said the season opener between the Sixers and the Knicks is going to be like game 4 of the NBA. You just can't make this stuff up. Take a listen to what this dude had to say here, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show.
We got the slate now, right? Opening night, national television, all the games on Christmas or whatever, right? We've seen it all now. So the reigning champs, let's get back to them. The Knicks opening their season against LeBron and the Sixers. Dave, what do you expect the atmosphere to be like at MSG?
It's going to be like game 4 of the NBA Finals when they made that incredible comeback. And it was electric within the walls of that arena, the world's best arena. And you have the most intriguing team as their opponent. The Sixers would have been intriguing had they just traded for Jaylen Brown, but you throw in LeBron James. It's going to be must-see TV, and it's going to be where I'm going to be. I'm going to be there for that opening night game.
Can I come with you?
Oh, please, come on.
Can we just clear my schedule just for that
Yeah,
day?
let's do it.
Wasn't there like a little subplot of if the Knicks didn't win, LeBron potentially could have gone there,
Rich
right?
Paul said it.
So to me, that's even more wild, the fact that this is a team that he could have seen himself on, but instead he's on the Sixers, and I just feel like we're underselling the energy because they're going to have rings for the players. I'm sure that everyone courtside is going to have rings as well.
Yes.
Rich Gahardate, John Turturro, Matt Joe,
The whole SVU
Ben
crew.
Stiller, the
Yes.
entire crew of SVU has rings. But to me, this is great. This is how you start the season. You want to see the biggest matchups, and that's it right there. The biggest players and the biggest teams in the most magical arena.
So you heard what he had to say. Here's why I can't stand LeBron fans. I don't like them, and I'm pretty sure I won't like them as people. They always try to, first of all, they're very disingenuous, but they always try to, like, it's not enough that LeBron gets the credit for the things that he deserves. They then try to give him credit for things that he doesn't deserve. So according to these dumbasses, they think that the reason these ticket prices are ballooning is not because Knicks fans want to go see them hang their championship banner, something they haven't witnessed in over 5 decades. They think, no, they want to go see LeBron James in a Sixers jersey. That's why. Not that New Yorkers and Knicks fans want to go watch the Knicks on ring ceremony night. Is that because they want to watch LeBron James? This is how delusional these people are. If LeBron had this much of an effect, as you guys seem to say, why did his playoff numbers not rival those of Jalen Brunson and Victor Wembanyama? Why? This is the fan base for you. This is the fan base for you. They're literally trying to give the hard work of the New York Knicks and attribute it to this guy. This is what they're trying to do. They're saying that, oh, it's like game 4 of the NBA. Did Dave McMenamin watch the finals? Did he watch the finals? The energy in that building will be because of the Knicks. They could have played this. It would have been the same thing if they played the Spurs, maybe even more with the Spurs. And I think they're playing them on Christmas Day. But to attribute that to LeBron, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And this is what they do. They always try to take credit from someone else. Even if you go look on X and see what people are saying, they're all laughing at him. Everybody's saying, no, it's not. Like, dude, again, what are you talking about? This is what people are saying on X, but they just can't help themselves. That network, they must twerk it up. They must twerk it up. They got to twerk it up and shake it up and pour honey all over the desk and just make a mess. This is what they do. This is what you got to do to get a job to work at ESPN. You just got to twerk it up every single day and slap each other with honey sticks during commercial breaks. This is what they do. So everything that the Knicks did, the historic championship run that they went on, and how they beat the Spurs, and how excited the fan base was, to the point where you even have Casey Neistat doing damn near little mini document. It was incredible. And now Dave McMenamin wants to reduce all of that down to, oh, the excitement is like NBA. Trust me, it's not. Trust me, it is not. When Knicks fans walk through the turnstiles, the Sixers will be an afterthought. I think the first thought that's going to go through Knicks fans, and I grew up in New York, so I know what the hell I'm talking about, is they're going to be there to see them hang that banner. And Brunson and these guys, that's what the excitement is going to be about. Then After that, then they'll be like, all right, time to whoop their asses. But they're making it seem like, oh, LeBron is somehow the main attraction. No, he's not. No, he's not. The main attraction is the Knicks. Don't do that to New York. Come on, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, come on now. Like, what are y'all doing? But this is them for you. This is this move. This is these people. And if you call it out, oh, you're a hater. If you don't like what they say, oh, you're a hater. Some of them don't even want you to have podcasts. Oh, you're not allowed to have a podcast. Come on, man. No. He don't agree with us. He not with us. Oh, no, he can't have a podcast. Come on, like enough is enough with y'all shenanigans, man. Enough is enough with it.